Good morning, Miss Crutchfield.
Good morning, ACJ.
Did I pronounce your surname correctly?
You did. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to this session of interviews, and thank you for making yourself available for consideration. I see that you hold a BA law degree from Wits, which you got in 1986, is that right?
Indeed.
And an LLB, which you got from the same university in 1998, is that right?
Indeed, yes. They sold it to me.
Yes, and then you got a higher diploma in taxation from the University of Johannesburg in 1996. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you did then an LLM, but you have not finished the LLM. You passed all the courses. You are left with the dissertation. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you don't have that degree as yet.
No.
But you also have, and you have done LLM tax law coursework credits.
Yes.
You have not completed that, or have
No,
you?
I'm hoping to do so still.
Is that a reference to the same LLM where
No.
there is an outstanding dissertation or not?
No, Acting Chief Justice. It's a separate LLM. I am still hoping that the university will accept me to complete that thesis.
Did you start another LLM before finishing the earlier one or what?
There was a significant time lapse, and the university would not have allowed me to complete the first one given the time lapse.
Or does that mean that the first one is effectively abandoned?
No, if the university allowed me to complete it, then I would be happy to do so.
Yeah, but what I mean is they are ruling that they won't allow you if it was a ruling stance or what?
I haven't, Chief ACJ, may I remove my mouse?
Yes, you may.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
I must say I haven't asked them. I am in the process of asking them in respect of the second one.
Yes.
I need to finish them with special circumstances in respect of why they should accept me or allow me rather to complete the second thesis.
Yes. Okay. And when did you get admitted as an advocate?
I was admitted during 1990 whilst I was doing my pupillage.
During 1990?
Yes, whilst I was doing my pupillage.
And when did you actually start practicing?
In fact, it would have been the previous year. I started practicing the following year. So I finished my LLB the end of 88. I did pupillage during 89. I was admitted during 1989, and I commenced practice. I think the date was the 1st of December, 1989, effectively 1990.
Yes. And you have been practicing throughout up to now?
Since, indeed, yes.
Yes. Would you like to share with the commissioners the types of cases that you handle in your practice or you have been handling over the past, what is it, 30 years?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I've had...
Or maybe before you do that, I'm sorry to do this to you.
No.
You can just tell us exactly when you took silk.
It was recommended by the JSC during 2016, and the letters were signed by the President 2 years later during 2018.
2018. Okay. Yes. Tell us about the types of cases that you have handled in your practice over the past 30 or so years.
Chief Justice, I started, because I arrived at practice straight from university, The initial years were spent doing a fair amount of criminal work, and I've included a list of pro deo defences that were done for the first until 1993, and then civil work in addition. So early years would have been unopposed motion court, opposed motions, trials, experience in the magistrates court, many trials in the magistrates court at that stage. Subsequently, as a member becomes more, as I became more senior, so there was, at approximately 10 years seniority, a significant amount of matrimonial work, but always also a degree of general litigation, including some commercial work. I was lucky in terms of the fact that I was able to maintain, to a certain degree, a limited degree, the matrimonial work together with some general litigation. And that has continued until in the last more recent years. Less matrimonial work and some nice insurance work. I have an interest in that. I have an interest in tax work, although I haven't practiced directly in that. Other than I think the odd matter, I can think of one or two. So that's been my story.
Now, when you say you took silk in 2018, having been admitted in 1989, on the face of it, that seems quite a long time to take silk. I know people who take silk after practicing for 12 years. I know one who took silk, or I was told he took silk after something like 8 years.
Yes.
So that seems quite long. Are you able to share with us why it took you so long to take silk?
Acting Chief Justice, the application in 2016 was the third application. I didn't apply in 2015. The first application was, I made the first application in 20.
I'm sorry, something else distracted my attention. Would you please start afresh on your answer?
Yes. The application that was finally recommended was the third application that I made. The first application was made by me in 2013. That was not successful. The second application was made in 2014. That was also not successful. And I didn't apply in 2015, and I applied again in 2016, and that was successful.
But why did you take so long? 2013 was, it seems to me, was also quite after a long time, because 2013 you would have been, something like 23 years in practice?
Yes.
Yes.
But Acting Chief Justice, when I commenced practice at the bar, women being recommended for silk were, you could count them on less than the fingers of one hand. It was only at a later stage, well into the duration of my practice, that the opportunity for women to be recommended emerged. When I started practice, I can think of, I think there were 2 female silk practitioners. And slowly as the years progressed, that opportunity did open up. So for the first approximately 15 years of my practice, that opportunity it was unheard of for women, be they white or African or Indian women, to apply and to be recommended for silk. So
No.
that is part of that story.
No, but that can't be right, Ms. Crutchfield. I've known women who wear silk a long time ago here in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Even at least one black. You know, there may have been more, but the one that comes to my mind is one. I mean, I wouldn't have difficulty with the proposition that there were not many women who took silk, but you are saying that there wasn't that opportunity. And my question is, if you are a practitioner, you are a woman, you believe that you have reached a stage where you should apply for silk, at least you should apply. If you don't get it because the committee that is supposed to recommend you consists of men who don't recommend you, that's different. But at least you should apply because you believe you should get it. So my concern is that you didn't apply until you had done about 23 years. Didn't you believe you
Yes, I did.
deserved to be silk much earlier than that?
Yes, I did.
But why didn't you apply?
There is no good reason for that, other than there were few women at that stage, although there were more than there were when I commenced practice, who were applying and being appointed. But there's no reason other than that. It's the way my practice developed. It's the way I approached it. I approached the application, I suppose.
Well, one explanation I've heard sometimes why advocates might take long to apply for silk is that they are concerned that maybe they are busy as senior juniors, and maybe once they get silk, they are not sure if they'll be sufficiently busy, so they delay that.
There is that concern, yes.
Was that your reason, or was that not your reason?
Certainly it was part of it, Acting Chief Justice. And I also had at that stage a busy practice, and I was very comfortable with it as well.
Yes, but then why didn't you tell me earlier? I was comfortable with my practice, and I just continued. Why did you have to say, there were not enough women silk?
Well, when I first started to practice, I think there were 2 women silk.
Yes, but that didn't affect the reason you're not applying, isn't it?
Yes, but even then, even when I got to sort of call it 15 years, there were still not that many women making application and being there was certainly more. I mean, we've seen an incremental increase over the years. So that really you could make it those 2 reasons put together. And I had a nice practice, and it was doing
well,
nicely.
I'm not going to stay longer on this point. I was simply trying to understand why you didn't apply for so long, and the initial response that you gave suggested to me that your delay had something to do with the fact that there were not many women around who were silks. But from what you have subsequently said, it seems that you had a certain practice, you were comfortable with that practice, and probably was your choice not to apply earlier.
It's a combination of both. It's a combination of both, ACJ.
Yes.
There were still then. There
Yes.
were not many female silks at that point.
Judge President Mlambo.
Thank you very much, Acting Chief Justice. Advocate Crutchfield, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, JP.
Yeah. You were here in April this year, is that correct?
I was indeed, yes.
Yes. So I won't spend a lot of time with you, but just looking at your spreadsheet, you've done a total of 70 weeks acting, is that correct?
Indeed, yes. Yes, JP.
And the major part of your acting has been in unopposed motions, which is 14 weeks, civil trials, 18 weeks, opposed motions, 9 weeks, and then, I think and then 7 weeks in full court appeals.
Yes,
right?
JP.
I won't take you through that. I want to focus on your judgments. You've delivered a total of 93 judgments, if I'm not mistaken.
JP, I thought it was more than that, but it is in that region approximately.
Yeah, but what I want to deal with as far as your judgment's concerned is you've listed the number of judgments where it took you more than 6 months to write.
Yes.
And in some of them, you've explained like it was a 2 week special, 2 weeks special civil trial or opposed motions combined into a special motion. But I think I raise this with you because that's the area where, as High Courts, we have a problem with judges who can't deliver judgments. But I want to commend you first for disclosing these judgments, right? But what assurance can you give the JSC that you will not add to the perennial list of defaulters in this area?
JP, if I can take you, if I may, to the list. If one looks at the last year, for example, the only judgments that have been delayed in terms of more than 6 months are I think it was the 5-day on page 2 at the top. The first matter is the tax matter, and that matter was 6 days on trial. But that 6 days is not, in fact, the reason why that matter was delayed. The reason why that matter was delayed is the matter directly beneath it. The opposed application, the special appeal. And that was the matter in which it dealt with. In fact, I gave the judgment in the application for leave to appeal. It went out this morning. But that matter dealt with restraints of trade. It dealt with unfair competition. It dealt with a very broad range of difficult and complex issues. There were 4 applications. In fact, there was a 5th issue as well. There were elements of urgency, and the judgment runs to 53 pages. I did almost attach it and place it before the commission, but at 53 pages, it wasn't tenable. But that is the reason for the delay in Maloney. If one looks at my output over approximately the last year, one will see that my judgments, other than those 2, that time, that delay that has been focused on has been reduced significantly. So, for example, over and above those 2 judgments, my last outing in the opposed motion court was the last week of July. Those judgments, there is one that's outstanding, and given the date of the last week of July, all of those judgments will be delivered before the 3-month cutoff period.
So, just to cut a long story short, since the last interview, how many judgments have you reserved for longer than 6 months? I just want to know that because there are others featured in that interview since April. Is it 2 or is it 3?
Since April, I don't think there were any, JP.
I see. Okay, so all these are historical.
Yes, indeed. The interview was April.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything there's nothing since April that I've reserved for longer than 6 months.
I see. Thank you very much. Thank you, Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you, JP. MEC Lesufi. MEC Lesufi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you so much, Acting Chief Justice.
Yes, if you have got questions for the candidate, please go ahead.
Now, the candidate is appearing for the second time, if I'm not mistaken. So in the next session, the answers. So I'm fine.
Okay,
Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Commissioners, Commissioner Mpofu.
Chief Justice Jenny Kane.
Okay. Commissioner Mpofu.
Yes. No, Commissioner Kane can go first.
Oh, Commissioner Kane.
Yes, thank you very much, ACJ.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Crutchfield.
Good afternoon.
I would like to just bring to the attention of the Commission the reasons why your silk took some time. As you know, I was personally involved in that process, and so was
Commissioner Kane.
Yes, I am sorry. Is that better?
That's better, yes.
Thank you. Now, I would describe you as having undergone a very fundamental change to your credits. When you first applied for silk, you were not involved in bar affairs. And it was a very deep problem with us recommending you for silk. We felt you hadn't given back to the bar, the junior bar, in mentoring pupils and other juniors. Now, you then got involved in bar affairs, and subsequent to actually taking silk, proved us completely wrong. Would you just describe to the Commission what you then did as a silk in involving yourself in mentoring of others in bar affairs?
Thank you for that opportunity, Commissioner. ACJ, I've been involved in my group mentoring youngsters and in their transformation for a long period of time. In respect of the bar, I had put myself forward to be appointed to the Bar Council, and that I was nominated in respect of the year 2018. And I served on the Bar Council running a particular portfolio, and that work proved to be very successful. Even if I say so myself, I did that work very well. At the end of that year, I then made myself available again. I was appointed again, and I was made chair of the pupillage committee. And I ran that pupillage committee through COVID, which was extremely difficult, as you can imagine. We had approximately 70 pupils, and to transition the curriculum of that program to an online format was not easy, but we managed it. We managed it seamlessly because we foresaw what was coming, and I oversaw that, and I continued through the year to oversee that program and to ensure that our pupils, some of whom ACJ come from the most underprivileged backgrounds, but I ensured that they underwent and benefited from, I hope, a successful pupillage. I stood down from the Bar Council at approximately a year ago, primarily because I believe that people shouldn't clog up positions. There are many people who wish for opportunities and who are capable of exercising those opportunities very well. So I didn't make myself available at the end of last year. I also wanted to focus on my application to the bench. But I have continued to be involved. I still participate actively in assisting the society with pupils, with the training of pupils. I'm involved in the advocacy training program. I'm also involved, we've just undergone our application process for pupillage, and I was extensively involved in that. So I have continued to be significantly involved in bar affairs, and that takes up an enormous amount of time and resources. So it is a significant contribution, and I'm grateful to Commissioner Kane for highlighting it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kane. Commissioner Mpofu.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good
morning,
afternoon.
Oh, indeed. Good morning. Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Thank you. Yes, no, the reason why I allowed Commissioner Kane to go first was because I knew that she would probably cover some of the ground, because I'm not sure whether it was me or her who was the chair of the Bar Council when you took silk. I think it might have been me.
It was her in the year, but you were there.
I was the deputy.
For whichever,
then,
yes,
because
indeed.
it was the year after my stint, yes. Right, now, but referring back to that interview, just to confirm what she has said about the feedback that we gave you and the impressive way in which you then took it up. But the issue that I really wanted to clarify is the concern of the DCJ around, if you can just explain, what it is like to have a practice in a place like the Johannesburg Bar, where you belong to a category of people who don't get all the nice flowery work, and you end up spending years and years, maybe even 10 years, just going to the divorce court and unopposed motions before you can be taken seriously. What that does even to your self-confidence to apply for silk. And then when you do eventually do, then you are told, no, you're not ready. So which is the exact opposite of what one would expect, and particularly, I mean, we've seen this particularly in a bar as large as this, just that struggle of that first 10 years before, as I say, before anyone even notices you.
Those are indeed valid issues that you raise, Commissioner. ACJ, I commenced practice, I was 24 or 25 years of age, which was probably far too young even then. There were few women at the bar, going back 30 years. I did initially unopposed motion court work, unopposed divorce court work, the odd opposed motion. I did have some civil trials in the Magis court, some insurance ones as well. But the only work, other than the criminal work that I did and the odd things that I've mentioned, that was available to women at the time that I entered the profession was matrimonial work. So women at that stage were pigeonholed. You did matrimonial work, that's what you did. You did divorces, you went to the Rule 43 court. That's where you found yourself. That's the work that was sent to you. And it's not because the women at that stage did anything in particular. That's just the work that was made available to them. That's what came their way. And that continued for a very long period of time. And as the Commissioner points out, when you're literally stuck in that position. Yes, I had a little bit of general litigation and and a little bit of commercial litigation, but the majority of my practice for those first years was matrimonial work. And it was, I can think of two people who applied for silk. Yes, two. After they had been practicing as female counsel and in matrimonial work. Excuse me. Approximately 15 years before me, if that much. I must have been in practice 10 years when they took silk. My sons may not add up, but the women at that stage were pigeonholed, and that is why, ACJ, you've referred earlier to the list of courses and diplomas that I've undergone, and that is why I did that, in an extent to break out of that matrimonial mold in which women at the bar at that stage were pigeonholed. To a very large extent, that has changed now. And we are seeing women with self-standing practices who in labor law and competition law and so on and so forth, and tax law. But I commenced practice 30 years ago. So that is certainly part of the delay in terms of my silk. And you know, as Commissioner Mpofu points out, when you are literally trapped, I don't like to use the word trapped, when you are, that's where you are, you do lose confidence. You do think, oh, well, I don't get that because I can't do that. And the result of all of this is that you're overlooked and you feel undermined. And all of that adds up to the conclusion that Commissioner Mpofu led to, was that you end up delaying applying, and then as he points out, you get told, but you're not ready. So they've been ironed out, but they still exist today. But there were structural impediments at that stage. They still exist, but not to so great an extent.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Thank you, Alison.
I wish you had said in response to my question, the type of work that we as women at the bar were doing over the years and continue to do was not the type of work that would be recognized by the leaders of the bar as qualifying you to take silk. That is why I took long to get silk. I wish that is what you had told me, because that I would understand completely. You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, ACJ.
Okay,
It's
all
the
right.
same with criminal law. Criminal people who were engaging in criminal law at that stage also was unheard of for them to be conferred with silk.
Thank you, Commissioner Mtolo Lepu.
Can I just follow up on?
Yes, okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yeah, after having experienced all this hardship being a woman advocate, and which most of other women are still experiencing same, is there anything that you have done for other women not to experience what you experienced?
I have tried to bring opportunities to them, not only in terms of accessing work opportunities, but also in respect of issues such as at the pupillage interviews that we held the beginning of September. I had a hand in the composition of the panels that dealt with those interviews. We had 3 panels. And I ensured that included in those interview panels were as many young Black females as we could accommodate within those panels. So not only have I attempted to find work briefing opportunities for them, I've also attempted to expose them, to give them, I want to say give them standing, to allow them to be seen, to be taking up opportunities that will in the future result in leadership experience and leadership positions for them.
A follow-up.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
let
Yes.
her finish. That you're done with your finish. Yes, follow up, please.
Now, I just really want to
Commissioner Lucas.
attest to the fact that one young Black lady from the mother is from Uppington. After the April interviews, attest to the fact that Alison put a lot in for her development.
Yes.
I just want to attest to that.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Moiman.
Thank you, Acting Chief Justice. Good morning, Advocate Crutchfield.
Good. Thanks.
This side.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you. Just one issue that I want you to clarify on what is being noted as an objection by a certain Kevin.
Oh yes.
On the Bushiri matter. Can you just allay our fears on that matter?
Yes, I can, most definitely. I sent to the Commission yesterday, and I'm not sure if it found its way to you. The email that the objecting attorney, Scarfsner, made available to me. I don't know if you received that. I can send it again, but in effect, his complaint was based on what we call a one-liner. He said to me, not under oath, but in terms of an email, and I can hand it to you once I've referred to this. He says the applicants are well-known fugitives from justice. There is clear concord authority from the court. Cannot assist the fugitives without this being brought to the court's attention. But all that he states in respect of the applicants themselves was the single phrase, they are well-known fugitives from justice. Now, yes, I do read the Sunday newspapers and so on and so forth, but I don't grant orders based on, or grant judgments based on, allegations that are made in emails and that are not substantiated in any manner. The gentleman did not see fit to put an affidavit before the court. There were no facts before the court upon which I could properly exercise a discretion that these people were allegedly well-known fugitives from justice. And so yes, I can more than adequately set your fears at rest in respect of this issue.
So thank you, Advocate. Thank you, Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you. Commissioner Jolo Sepu. Sorry, I skipped you earlier.
Okay, thank you, Acting Chief Justice. Good morning, Advocate Crutchfield.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I know that you were here in April, and some of the things that you are saying now, you should have articulated them better in April.
I'm sure that there could have been, and still is, room for improvement.
Yes. So what I wanted to know, do you think that the criteria for silk, because what you have just said, it's actually convincing me that this silk story is actually closing doors for women.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm afraid I missed that.
I'm saying that the criteria for silk, do you think, is it open enough, or it's at the whim of those who are in power? Because for me, for what you are doing and what I've heard you have been doing, You should have acquired silk long ago.
Yes, I should have.
Number two, the Deputy Chief Justice, I'm just worried that we may, Ms. Crutchfield has gone through this. How many of them are going through this? And what are we going to do about this criteria of silk? I think we need to think about it, because for me, silk is just a glorified, if they're going to close doors for men like this. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner JSC.
Thank you, Sujay. I think I'm here next to you. This side, yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've always informed other candidates that at least the CJ greets you for me. Don't say I'm not greeting. I think from what you are saying, there are critical issues that come up. And I don't hear you coming strong on this point. The struggle of women in the profession.
It's huge.
And I think platforms such as this, the JSC, is where you should come up strong on these matters. You should not shy about it. And I don't understand you when you say quite often of late, there are more women who are given work. That goes for white females in the main. Very few black. They don't. I'm coming from the Eastern Cape. I hardly in the last 3 years see a black female counsel arguing a matter. Now, what I want from you is, how do we address this? Because the stereotype is still there and no one is doing anything. And my view is, as you respond, until black and white female, because once white female become comfortable because they are given some handwork by the white male advocates, we'll never address the question. So I would like to hear you more on this point. I want your emphasis because other people are listening. Thank you.
Yes. Commissioner, I raised this issue and I thought that I addressed it strongly during my interview in April. My view is that this body is one of the most important when it comes to assisting with enabling females, black, white, African, across the board, to enter the profession, but also to stay in the profession. We are struggling to see women enter the profession and find themselves in a position where they are still practicing 10 years, 15 years later. Yes, I think that the structural impediments that I faced when I commenced practice have to a degree ameliorated themselves. And they are doing so in respect of African and Indian women as well as whites. But it's slow. It's slow. It's not good enough. It's not the range of work that is being offered to women is not broad enough. They're still not getting the quality commercial work that they justifiably should be getting. And this commission has to set the example. This commission has to appoint the female judges and say, and I'm not saying don't appoint the male judges as well, obviously, but this commission is in a premier position to say, see these women, black, African, Indian, they're all good. And it's only in that way that we are going to break down that stereotype, because they are equally competent, if not more so, in a lot of cases. And they have to show that they are available for the work. It's part of the reason why I did all the courses that I've done, to try and make myself more marketable, so to speak. And they must follow a similar route, but the work, it has to start here, and the attorneys have to ensure that they use female counsel, and that they ensure that those counsel receive the exposure that they need, and that will eventually slowly assist in reducing that stereotype.
Thank you. Commissioners who are virtual on the virtual platform, is there anyone who has a question? No one. Okay, I think we have exhausted questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ACJ, and thank you to all the commissioners.
Yes, thank you for availing yourself, and you are now excused.
Thank you, ACJ.
Thank you.